Behind this door, I still consider the scariest place of my house. Hey there, welcome to my channel, Mess with Michelle. If you're returning, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name's Michelle. So if you've been to my channel before and you caught my video last year where I posted a mini makeover of my laundry room, I mentioned at the beginning of the intro, this is the scariest part of my house, and it seems like a deja vu moment today because it's still considered the scariest part of my house. Since the mini makeover, I tried to enjoy this space. I added a few simple storage solutions to house all my small cleaning tools, but it just still wasn't hitting the mark for me. Every time I came in here, I just wanted to do my laundry and get out as quick as possible, but I really wanted to change that feel and vibe of this space and just give it an overhaul to make it a space that I really enjoy being in and don't mind doing my laundry in. So I'm going to be painting, I'm going to be trying my hand at peel and stick floor tile and backsplash and very simple DIYs to really transform this entire space. So here are just a few shots of what the laundry room currently looks like so you know what I'm starting off with. And if you like these types of videos and transformations, DIYs, and cleaning motivation, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button so I can take you on my messy journey. The first thing that I did was clear everything out of the room. I patched up the holes from the existing shelves, and I also taped up the baseboards with painter's tape, and I gave the patchwork a really good sanding with sandpaper so I had a nice smooth finish to work with when I began my painting. So now that I've prepped the space, I'm going to be using Benjamin Moore's Calm OC22 paint color. This is part of their off-white collection, and if this sounds familiar, this paint color is the same color that I painted the entire main level of my house a few months ago. I had quite a bit of paint left over after painting the entire main level of my house, so rather than letting it sit and go to waste, I thought it'd be great to reuse it inside the laundry room, and it's exactly what the laundry room needed. The wall color is really light in the laundry room, but it's builder's grade and there's a lot of scuff marks, so just adding a fresh coat of paint made a huge difference. Here's a quick check-in of the painting progress. I've already done one full coat around the entire laundry room, and now I'm moving on to my second coat. The first coat took a little bit longer because the walls really drank up the paint because I was painting over builder's grade paint, and I always find that the first coat really gets soaked into the walls. But now that I have a full coat of the Benjamin Moore on the walls, the painting process really seemed to speed up and the paint just glided onto the walls. And I'm really happy that I had this extension for my painting tools. It was a huge help, especially in such a small area. I had a bit of a hard time reaching certain areas by hand without the extension pole, but by adding it on, it just helped me get into the small nooks and crannies, especially behind the washer and the dryer. For my roller, I'm using a 13mm, which was suggested by the paint store, and I've used for the other painting projects around my house, and it is recommended this size roller when you are using Benjamin Moore Regal Select paint. With the walls now painted, I'm moving on to another painting project, and I'm going to paint the legs of my laundry room sink. I wanted to keep this project as budget friendly as possible, so rather than switching out the laundry room sink with a brand new one, painting the legs is all this sink really needed to help blend it into the rest of the room. To cover up the legs, I'm using Benjamin Moore semi-gloss paint in the color white. There's no tint to it. This was actually used for the trim around the downstairs area of the house, and I had quite a bit left over, so I thought I'd give it a try and use it on the legs, and it did the trick. I used 3 coats in total to get full coverage to cover up the gray. Next up, I'm going to share a DIY that I found on Pinterest to conceal exposed pipes. This pipe runs along the back of the wall in the laundry room and really sticks out, so I wanted to help camouflage it and blend it into the wall. So I'm going to be using cotton rope to wrap around the pipe to conceal it. This was so cost effective, it cost under $10, so all I really needed for this project was rope and some hot glue. I wanted to make sure I didn't have any seams facing the front of the pipe and all the seams were at the back, so I started off by placing a dab of glue on the back of the pipe and placed the beginning of the rope onto the hot glue to secure it, and just continuously started wrapping the rope around the pipe. And as I was wrapping around the pipe, I made sure to keep the line really nicely tightly together, so this way I wasn't able to see the color coming through. Once I reached the end of the rope, I put another small dab of glue on the back of the pipe and making sure that I secured the end of the rope to the back, as I mentioned, not to have any seams at the front, so this way when you looked straight onto the pipe, it looked like one continuous piece of rope wrapped around the entire length of the pipe. And here's the end result after wrapping the entire pipe with the rope. So my next DIY project is a great solution if you want to change up existing flooring but you can't easily remove flooring, or you're just not ready to make that huge plunge in demoing and taking out flooring. And that was something that I did not want to do, is just take out tile that's existing in here, but I still wanted to have a space that was different than the rest of the house. So the next best solution of avoiding all that demo is using peel and stick tiles. I'm using floor pops in the color black and white, as well as the design Comet, and this is something that I was really looking forward to changing up the space, and really the inspiration of starting this project, because I really wanted to make it look different and just make it a whole new feel and vibe in my laundry room. So all you really need for this project is a cutting tool, a measuring tool, and a roller of some sort. I used a rolling pin to press down your tiles. So all you really have to do is just connect the tiles and just make sure that the pattern is lining up. And the best thing to do is just map out the tiles beforehand before you start peeling off the backing. So this way you have an idea of how you want to place your tiles. Now I gave it a good college try when it came to cutting the floor tiles, but I didn't excel very well in this department. So I had to hand it over to Bobby to complete this for me, just because he has a better hand of cutting. He's a bit more precise with his cuts, and I was just wasting way too many tiles during the process. So just better that he finished it off. So it wasn't too bad at first, but I just was not getting the rhythm, but he was able to swoop in and get this flooring done within an hour. And so far you can see it just makes a huge impact in the space by just using some peel and stick on the flooring. My next DIY is a small shelf beside the sink. One thing about my laundry room, it was lacking a lot of storage space as well as any shelf space. So I wanted to have a small shelf beside the sink, so this way when I'm finished washing items in the laundry room, I can place them on the small shelf to dry. So Bobby cut an MDF board that we had around the house to the width and length of the sink, and now we're just using PVC trim to trim out the shelf area. The reason why we chose PVC is because the builder had already existing trim behind the faucet, so just to have a nice seamless look and to make sure that it blended in, we want to use the same material. So Bobby just cut the PVC board using a table saw and miter saw to the length and width of the area. To secure the trim onto the wall, I'm using No More Nails, and this is actually a really old product we had in the basement for about 4 years, so it was just extremely hard to get out, and I shouldn't have used it because it probably was well overdue and expired, but as I was squeezing away, it was just not coming out. So eventually Bobby gave it a good squeeze and the whole top of it just blew open, so that's why I'm just wiping it on and I'm just spreading it out with my finger. I don't recommend this method, but it was the quickest thing when I started to put the stuff on the back of the trim. So when I went to wash my hands, Bobby popped in and he just put the trim on for me, and then we just used a bit of white wood filler to fill up any gaps at the bottom and the top of the trim, so this way you have a nice seamless look between the shelf and the wall. I wanted to switch out the faucet in the laundry room with something more decorative, so I bought a bathroom vanity faucet, but I later learned that it doesn't have the third line connection that's specific to laundry room sinks called a trap and primer. The third line actually goes directly into the ground to make sure that your drains inside the basement have always water inside to prevent any gas buildup or odors. So if you are switching out your laundry room sink, just double check if you have that third line, because you have to find a very specific faucet to ensure that you have those 3 lines for the hot water, cold water, and the trap and primer. I purchased new cabinetry for my laundry room, and I bought this freestanding tall cabinet which is perfect beside the washer and dryer. I had less than 20 inches to work with, so it worked out really perfectly in terms of size and storage, and this is the new cabinet above the sink. So next up, I'm going to be adding faux backsplash, that's peel and stick, into the laundry room around the sink area. And I found this backsplash from Amazon. It's in the subway design with black grout. It's from Art 3D, and it's just an adhesive backing similar to the Floor Pops peel and stick tiles for the floors. I was really happy and pleasantly surprised with this product. I really didn't know what to expect, but it was really durable, it wasn't flimsy, and it was really easy to work with. So all you really have to do is just measure out where you're placing the tile, and you can trim the edges, which I've done here to butt up the tile to the corner of the wall. And once you're happy with the positioning, you just peel off the backing and you just stick it firmly onto the wall. When I first received the backsplash, I was so surprised of how realistic the subway tile looked for peel and stick, and it looks just really great. So if you're looking for a really cost-effective way to really jazz up your wall by adding backsplash, but you're not able to actually use real tiles, this is definitely a great solution, especially the company that I use, which is Art 3D. I would definitely buy this again if I was to do any more peel and stick projects around the house. So I'm just going around the perimeter of the sink area, and originally I was just going to place the backsplash behind the sink and up to the cabinet, but after looking at the space, Bobby suggested to put it around the perimeter of the area just to have a nice finished look, and I'm really happy I went with that suggestion because it really polished off and made the space look great. I didn't have enough tiles to finish the next wall, so I am missing 2 tiles on this far wall here, but it's not a huge deal because you can't really notice it when you first walk into the laundry room because it's kind of hidden away. So I definitely have to buy 2 more tiles for this space and get this finished up. But here's what it looks like, and as I said, it looks so authentic, it looks pretty real, and I'm very impressed with how it really turned out. With all the larger projects now complete, I'm going to start decorating this space by just adding a few decor and accents into the area to just finish off and complete this look. Before I jump in and show you the big reveal of the laundry room, here's just a quick reminder what the space looked like prior to starting this makeover. And here is the after. I am so happy how the laundry room turned out. I really can't believe it's the same space. Just the small added touches of the floor and the backsplash really makes this room pop. I have to say this is no longer the scariest part of my house. This small shelf beside the sink is one of my favorite projects because it's just going to make such a huge difference when it comes to drying items in the laundry room. Previously, when I washed anything in this room and had to air dry it, I'd always have to put everything on the floor to air dry on a drying mat, and it just did not work and it wasn't functional. So such a small shelf will make a huge difference in the best possible way for when I have to clean things inside the laundry room. I decided to move all my cleaning tools that were larger in size downstairs into the basement. I really wanted to maximize the laundry room for laundry baskets and just have added space. There's items for the cleaning tools I don't use on a regular basis, so I don't mind having them downstairs in the basement. And this tall cabinet is perfect for all of my small cleaning tools and my vacuum tools that were previously inside the over-the-door storage area that I had at the back of the door from my last makeover. I really hope you enjoyed today's makeover transformation of my laundry room, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button on your way out, and I'll see you next Sunday when I upload my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!